obesity epidemic could take a terrible toll as the number of cancer cases linked to being overweight are on the rise among people under 50, with the biggest increase in younger people. That's in a report by Reuters citing a study in the Lancet Public Health. The increases come in colorectal, kidney, and pancreatic cancers, among others. Higher rates among younger Americans now could lead to an explosion of cancers in the years ahead as they grow older. And that would mean, Pat, even more healthcare costs in both the private sector and in government.
Well, we've been talking about the gut flora, and what the other thing is inflammation. And, we had Dr. Perlmutter the other day on the show talking about inflammation. That is the major health problem they're dealing with. And the cancers come from inflammation. And the inflammation comes from ingesting too much sugar, too much white flour, and keeping the insulin high in our bodies. And so not only do we get Parkinson's, and we get Alzheimer's, and we get other types of dementia, but now we're getting a serious epidemic of cancer. And I urge you, the people of this audience, don't let your kids stuff up on junk food. You read the labels of the cereals, they're loaded with sugar. And the breakfast that we eat is sugar-loaded, and then the snacks they eat are sugar-loaded, the soft drinks they drink are sugar-loaded, and we're stressing our bodies, and we're building up inflammation, and the inflammation causes cancer. So we've got an epidemic of cancer just because we're eating the wrong stuff. And parents, do you think you're doing your children a favor? You're not. You're killing them. When you stuff that stuff, read the labels on these cereals, sugar pops, and that kind of stuff.
It's frightening.
It is frightening.
It's so sad when you see those young kids and they're already obese, and you think, what kind of future are they going to have?
Well, we've got, I've talked about high fructose corn syrup, which is a big deal, but you've got sugar in everything. They start off in the early days with the food they give to little infants. They think they've got it loaded with salt and sugar, and the little kids don't need that. They want natural food. If we had vegetables, and unfortunately, there are steroids being put into the beef, into the pork, into the chickens. They not only are steroids to make them fatter, but they're also antibiotics to kill bugs, but those antibiotics go through to people, and they in turn kill our gut flora. It's a vicious cycle, and I'm telling you, you're looking at range-fed chicken, free-range chicken, and grass-fed beef, but you don't get that very often, especially if you go out to eat.
Read the labels, right?
How many people read labels? I used to talk to my wife, did you read the label what this is? No, I didn't read the label. Well, why don't you got to read the labels? You see, and it says the percentage of sugar, and it says it'll tell you what's in the food. But folks, this is an epidemic. You talk about opioid, you've got the opioid problem. Well, this other thing is there too. Okay, Wendy.
Well, up next, the bottom